Radical.
Welcome to part 3 of Radical Rapid Fire Cover Response for January 31st through February 6, 2022. Short comments, quick replies. Rune Mamba. Russ Westbrook's interviews lately have been hilarious. The other night, a journalist asked about the Lakers' poor record, and he said, "It's 0-0 when you get to the playoffs." Laughing and crying emojis. Well, at least he's staying positive. At least he's being positive. And that is factually correct. It's the records are kind of meaningless until you get to the playoffs, because everybody starts out anew, except for the seeding and how easy it is and home court advantage and whatnot. Everything starts out with a clean slate. But he's saying playoffs. The Lakers are not going to be in the playoffs. They got to go through the play-ins. And it was really kind of ironic that LeBron James, of all people, didn't really like the idea of the play-ins. I think he does now. Star Blazers 1969. I moved my pre-order to GameStop so I will not lose my money. That's pretty smart, actually. Because, if right now, if you have a Television Amico pre-ordered, if you have it pre-ordered right now, you could lose money. But if you switch it over to GameStop, then it's kind of protected. Because, if I say if, the fact is it's not coming out. So then, if you have to pre-order over GameStop, then they have to refund your money. And then somebody left a comment like, well, what if GameStop goes belly up? The Amico is definitely going to be a failure, not coming out. But GameStop, I got to check what the YouTubers have to say. Hey, what does Review Tech USA have to say? Oh, GameStop's closing in a couple months. He's been saying that for several years now by GameStop closing up shop. So, yeah, maybe they'll close. I don't know. I don't keep up on that, Don't they have some financial backing, though? Microsoft? I don't know. They have some big backing. That's what I hear. Frankie A. Actually, you did an excellent, Dr. Phil. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I work with that really heavy. You need to change your life. I don't know what Dr. Phil says. Your daughter is a hooch. She needs to quit being a hoot. I mean, I'm at a loss here. Like I can do the voice, but like as far as an impression, I got a lot of work to go. I got a lot of work on the Dr. Phil. So yeah, thank you, but I'm just not feeling my Dr. Phil. But I appreciate the kind words there, Frankie A. AlterCell _ Strange the Valve Steam Deck doesn't seem to have any issues getting products together and shipped. Yeah, the weird thing about those chips, right? That chip shortage? No problem with the Steam Deck. Other systems are coming out. This must be a big chip shortage, right? What kind of advanced chips in those Intellivision Amigos? It's not an advanced chip. You know what kind of chip is in the Intellivision Amigos? Say it with me now. Potato chips. Martyville. Rick, did you know giving a tip in Japan is considered an insult? It's interesting how different countries viewed things differently. Like Japanese people learn in school that they will have a passion for what they'll have a passion for and are allowed to practice these things most of the time. By giving them a tip, it means you look down upon them. That's how I feel. Like if I'm given a tip and it's not something I've actually done to earn the tip, like an actual job or a actual service. Let's say if I'm showing off one of my modified vehicles to somebody and they're liking it and they're like, man, this is really amazing. And they just, put $5 on the hood. I would say, what on this car do you want to buy for $5? Nothing on this car is $5. I'm like, no, I just want to give you a tip because, I can tell how passionate you are about that. I'm like, no, And if they refuse to take the $5 back, I would donate that $5 to St. Jude's or something. That's what I would do with it. I love that aspect of their culture. Now, I would think about moving there, but GTV, Japan says that they tax you to death. So I'm sorry about all the taxes there, GTV Japan. Albert Menendez. There's a channel called Company Man. He did a specific upload to beg his viewer to donate to his Patreon. Beg his viewer or viewers? It's kind of sad if he has one viewer. Please, I need you to give me money on Patreon. I mentioned, what is the percentage of a cash return if I invest? He's a guy that does uploads about financial status of companies. Said, I don't know what you mean. Well, that's quite hilarious. He has a financial advising channel. That is just so funny. The irony there. The irony. That's the kind of thing I could probably sink my teeth into and have an upload. You said it's Company Man? I might have to look that channel up. Sean A. Rich, hired, got an editor to help upload his videos because it's too much work. That's funny. That's funny because what Rich does is not work. It's not to be considered work. I'm sorry. What he specifically does is not work. His work, I've knocked out like on the way from actual work to home. Like I can do most of what Rich does one-handed on the way from actual work to home. You know? I do it all the time. Hey, what gaming news can I talk about? Go over an article for a couple minutes. Hit record. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. You know, I could probably show him like my process and he'd be like, what? That takes you less than 8 hours? How the heck do you do that? Do Mez. I think Fresh Prince of Bel-Air show really holds up well. Not a lot of old sitcoms hold up well. Yeah, there's some sitcoms I don't think will hold up well. Probably the ones that just are low quality. Like, you know, Two Broke Girls with all the period type jokes and the references. I think if it's a sitcom that has like a lot of references just to certain things, that doesn't hold up. So some sitcoms actually go out of their way to try to not have all these references to things of the time. Frasier, I think, holds up. It's a high quality show. Certain aspects of certain shows hold up. The theme song, one of the best theme songs of any show is the Friends theme song. That song holds up incredibly well. Ross Robertson. This guy sounds like a flat earther with his conspiracy. Like all these players and coaches are in on it and they all keep quiet. BS! Well, this is what you sometimes hear. And people will say there's no way that every single player, every single coach, everybody is on it. You know? Well, what makes you think that every single person on that field has to be in on it? What makes you think that? You're not telling me that the powers that be can't just get to a quarterback or a coach and completely flip the game in one direction? This happens several different times. Sometimes it comes down to one play. Remember the Seahawks game where everyone was like, what was that play call? What? Why did they call that play? It all comes down to those head-scratching moments. I'm here to tell you it's not head-scratching moments. And as far as the thumbnail here, there's a wrestler named Dr. D, and he slapped a reporter, John Stossel. Look it up. That was a slap heard around the world. And that was to protect the business. He was told by Vince McMahon to do whatever it takes to basically protect the business. Now, Vince didn't tell him to hit this reporter and strike him, but that was desperation to protect the business. And when it comes to football, we're not that point where so many people are seeing that it's fake. With wrestling, it was, not as believable as football, but I think we'll come to a time in the next couple years where people will say, you know what? That doesn't really make any sense. I mean, back-to-back wins, home team at the Super Bowl. What's the odds of that happening?